What if a critical component on your car could fail at highway speed? And the response wasn't a recall, but a warranty denial. This video isn't about one isolated defect. It's about a pattern that shows up across Tesla ownership, from build quality and software behavior to service access, battery aging, and safety oversight. We'll walk through 10 areas where owner reports, regulatory scrutiny, and internal documentation tell a very different story than the one most buyers expect. Not speculation, not outrage, just how small issues, when layered together, turn into expensive and sometimes dangerous outcomes over time. Number 1. Build quality. Why do vehicles priced as premium arrive with owners measuring panel gaps, using blue tape and feeler gauges? Delivery reports frequently note doors that sit proud, trunk lids that contact bumper covers, and charge port doors misaligned enough to rub adjacent panels. Service responses often classify these as within spec, yet owners then report wind noise at highway speed and water intrusion after routine car washes. Forum documentation shows early Model 3 and Model Y production experiencing wide tolerance variation between assembly shifts. Independent teardown analyses point to tolerance stack-up combined with aggressive production targets. None of this stops the car from driving, and that's exactly why it matters. When a car arrives imperfect but functional, it teaches owners something early. That precision isn't the priority. Operation is. That mindset shows up again later, when a noise appears, when water shows up where it shouldn't, or when a panel shifts after a repair. The issue isn't whether the car works, it's whether it was built with a margin or just enough tolerance to leave the factory. And over time, that difference changes how problems are evaluated, how claims are handled, and who ultimately pays to make things right. Number 2, paint and finish. Exterior finish problems follow the same pattern. Owners in winter climates report paint failure after a single season of road salt and grit exposure, particularly around rocker panels and wheel arches. Paint thickness measurements taken by independent shops often fall below segment averages, which explains why chips progress quickly into flaking. Many owners mitigate this themselves, installing paint protection film, mud flaps, and ceramic coatings within days of delivery. The car improves, but the cost shifts from manufacturer to buyer. Again, the vehicle functions, but durability expectations quietly change. Number 3, software behavior. Software is where ownership becomes unpredictable. Overnight updates routinely alter vehicle behavior. Bluetooth pairing fails. Rear cameras display intermittently. Climate controls lag or reset. And interface layouts change without warning. Energy predictions fluctuate after updates. Sentry mode crashes have been linked to unexplained battery drain. Minor releases sometimes trigger recalibration loops that temporarily disable driver assist features. Tesla's update cadence mirrors consumer electronics. Rapid deployment, frequent iteration, constant change. That model works well when software controls convenience. It's far more complicated when software controls motion. When an update alters how sensors interpret data or how driver assist features behave, the owner doesn't get a learning period. The change is immediate, and the responsibility stays with the driver. Most of the time, the system stabilizes. But when it doesn't, owners describe a different kind of ownership stress. Not mechanical failure, but uncertainty. You don't know if the issue is temporary, if another update will fix it, or if the service will even acknowledge it as a fault. That uncertainty didn't exist in older vehicles. And it changes how confident people feel about keeping the car long-term. And unlike a phone, this software controls braking logic, steering assistance, and driver awareness systems. If this kind of breakdown is useful to you, subscribe to the channel. We focus on long-term ownership realities. Not hype, not outrage, just what matters once the novelty wears off. Number 4, Autopilot and FSD. Driver assistance reliability remains one of the most polarizing areas. Owner footage shows frequent disengagements at standard intersections and highway merges. Phantom braking events, particularly at speed, have led many drivers to disable features on long trips. Regulatory investigations have examined these patterns, especially in environments with poor lighting or unclear lane markings. Tesla's vision-only approach reduces hardware complexity, but it places greater dependence on software interpretation. This is still Level 2 assistance. The driver remains fully responsible, yet branding and feature naming often imply greater autonomy, which increases misuse risk. Number 5. Recalls strategy. Tesla frequently tops recall charts, with many fixes delivered over the air. That approach reduces service visits and resolves issues quickly, but it also raises questions about pre-release validation. High recall volume can reflect responsiveness, or it can indicate features shipped before full vetting. Hardware-related recalls still require inspection or replacement, and owners often struggle to distinguish between low-severity compliance issues and genuine safety risks. Number 6. Battery degradation. Battery degradation varies widely by use pattern. Most owners experience an early capacity drop, followed by a slower long-term decline. Outliers see sharper losses, often associated with frequent fast charging, high ambient heat, or sustained high state of charge. Software-imposed charging limits introduced via updates can amplify perceived loss, even when the battery remains functional. For owners outside warranty thresholds, the financial impact isn't abstract. It shows up as resale hesitation. It shows up as range anxiety that wasn't there before. And it shows up when a car that still drives well suddenly feels like a risk to keep. Even modest degradation changes how people use the car. They stop fast charging. They plan trips differently. They begin thinking about replacement earlier than expected. That doesn't mean the battery failed. It means confidence did. Number 7. Charging consistencies. Charging performance remains inconsistent. Owners report large swings in peak charging speed at identical stations, driven by battery temperature, stall sharing, and preconditioning timing. Adapters at non-Tesla stations introduce additional throttling, and older infrastructure limits output regardless of demand. The result is unpredictability, especially on long trips where planning margins matter. Number 8. Service access. Service access remains a bottleneck. Appointments are app-only, with weeks-long waits in high-density regions. Mobile service resolves minor issues, but alignment, suspension, and steering concerns require center visits. Warranty disputes often hinge on usage interpretation, and capacity growth has lagged vehicle sales. Owners remember downtime, not root cause, and that experience shapes reliability perception. Number 9. Centralized controls. Tesla's centralized touchscreen creates a single point of dependency. When the display reboots or freezes, the rear camera feeds disappear, HVAC controls vanish, and audio alerts fall silent. Earlier models experienced memoryware failures, leading to recalls. Newer hardware improves performance, but functional concentration means minor glitches become safety distractions. Number 10. Safety and regulatory history. Internal records from 2016 to 2022 document elevated failure rates in suspension and steering components, including control arms, forelinks, and half shafts. Regulatory responses varied by region. Some markets issued recalls. Others saw warranty denials despite similar failure patterns. The inconsistency, not the existence of defects, is what concerns owners most. This doesn't mean Tesla builds unsafe cars. It means Tesla builds complex cars where small failures scale quickly. Durability and reliability are no longer the same thing. A vehicle can last, yet interrupt your life more often and at a higher cost. Understanding that difference is what separates informed ownership from disappointment. Not because these cars are bad, but because the rules changed. Ownership today isn't just about durability. It's about interruption, downtime, calibration, software dependencies, and how quickly small problems escalate, For buyers who understand that shift, modern ownership can still make sense. For those who expect yesterday's simplicity from today's complexity, the surprise comes later, and it's rarely cheap.